In today's video, I'm going to break down whether Setapp or buying apps individually saves you more money. What's up, you guys? My name's Ashley Robetz, and if you've ever looked at your bank statement and realized how many little app subscriptions are stacked up, this is going to be super eye-opening. For entrepreneurs, software tools are one of those hidden expenses that can really creep up fast. You start with one app for design, another for productivity, and then you add something for communication, and before you know it, you're paying more for software than you are for coffee or even your internet bill. The real question is, does Setapp actually solve this problem? Or is it just another subscription to add to the pile? Let's find out. So first off, what is Setapp? Before we compare costs, let's start with the basics. Setapp is a subscription service that gives you access to a large collections of Mac and iOS apps. So instead of buying each app separately, you pay one monthly or yearly fee and unlock the entire library. Right now, there are over 200 apps in the library, and they cover everything from system cleaning and productivity to project management and communication. Think of it as an all-you-can-eat buffet of apps. You pay once and then you can pick and choose what you need without paying extra. The biggest difference between Setapp and the App Store is the model. In the App Store, you buy or subscribe to apps one by one. With Setapp, everything is bundled together. That means you can experiment with different apps, try new workflows, and even switch tools as your business grows, all without worrying about stacking on another subscription. I know for me, I love experimenting to make my day and systems the most optimized as possible. So having Setapp is such a dream to be able to play around to see what's going to work best for me. Buying apps individually. Now let's look at the traditional way most entrepreneurs manage their software, which is buying apps individually. This is usually how it starts. You buy one tool you absolutely need, maybe something like CleanMyMac to keep your computer running fast. Then a few weeks later, you realize you need a focus app to stay on track, so you grab one of those. Then you want a time tracker to keep tabs on client work, so you add another subscription. Maybe you add a CRM. Then you start creating content and sign up for Canva or maybe another design tool. And then finally you realize you need a screen recorder like Loom for client updates or team communication. Individually, none of these subscriptions look too expensive. $10 here, $12 there, maybe $15 or more for an advanced tool. But when you add them up, the cost climbs super quickly. Just those 5 apps, CleanMyMac, a focus app, a time tracker, Canva Pro, and Loom, can easily cost around $50 to $70 per month. That's over $600 a year for just a handful of tools. And let's be real, as an entrepreneur, you have even more apps than app to keep your business running. The benefit of buying apps individually is that you only pay for what you use. If you're extremely minimal and stick to 1 or 2 apps, this could be cheaper, but the downside is that most entrepreneurs end up needing more than 2 apps to run their business, and suddenly the cost gets out of hand. Now, let's talk about what you get with Setapp. When you subscribe to Setapp, you're not just buying one app, you're actually unlocking an entire library. For example, CleanMyMac is included. Session is a focus timer that's also included. Timing is a time tracker. There's also a complete full planner and task management system called By Design, which I will be showing all of my favorites here in a second. And then we've got CleanShot, which is a screen recorder that's also included. That's almost exactly like Loom, but better. And that's just scratching the surface. The beauty of Setapp is that it bundles together categories that most entrepreneurs already pay for, like system maintenance, productivity, design, communication, and organization. Instead of juggling separate subscriptions, you just log into Setapp and download what you need. Another key advantage is flexibility. Maybe you try one focus app and realize it's not your style. You can switch to another without paying extra. Maybe you start off with one planning or habit tracker, you don't love it, and then you switch to another one. In terms of value, Setapp is not just about replacing one app, it's about giving you room to adapt as your needs change without your costs changing. Now, let's get into some side-by-side cost examples, because this is where the difference becomes really, really clear. If you buy CleanMyMac individually, the Plus plan is about $15.95 per month, even if you go to their site, and that's for one device. If you need it on multiple, it can go up to $25, even to $5. You also can pay one time, but that's $625. Or even annually, it's $17.55 a month for the Plus plan. Then Loom is about $12.50 per month, and add a focus app at $5 per month, and a project organizer at $10 per month. And you can be anywhere from, again, $50 to $70, and honestly more, which is over $700 a year. Now we compare that to Setapp, and depending on the plan that you get, it definitely ranges. Even for Setapp, the membership pricing, the power user for multiple devices is just $14.99 per month. You also can save 10% by paying annually, and that's $13.49 per month. Then with Mac and iOS, it's $12.49 per month. You get one Mac and 4 iOS devices. So for example, I have my iPhone and my iPad and my Mac. And then if you just want the Mac, it's just $9.99 per month. That blows my mind, honestly. I think it's so cool to have access to all of these apps for just one subscription price. And so again, that's roughly $120 to $144 per year. Even if you round up and say $15 per month, you're only paying $180 per year for access to all of these apps and more. So if we're using the example, even on just those 4 to 5 apps, you're saving close to $500 a year with Setapp. And remember, we're not even counting all the other apps you might end up using, like note-taking tools, password managers, or developer apps. Again, there is so much on Setapp. So if you want to get started with the free trial, use our exclusive link down in the description below. So to get signed up, you can just click try for free and you'll get started with your email. But I want to show you what it looks like on the inside. So once you download the app, this is what it looks like. So you've got the Explorer. So they've got the best of Setapp. So you've got some popular tools here. You've got recommended for you. They've got collections, which I think is really cool. So they've got the Setapp starter kit. They've got the AI toolkit, the digital security toolkit. There's even a VPN on here, which if you look at VPNs, depending on the price, it's just insane how much you can save by using Setapp. They've got developers, designers. There's so much on here. Now I wanted to show you some of my favorite apps. So one of my ultimate favorite apps is called By Design. In here, it's your calendar, it's your habit tracker, it's your task management. So as you can see, they have a calendar view, and why I like this is because I time block everything. So it's really, really helpful for me to see what I have coming up, what I need to work on, what are my goals for the day. So I've got all my tasks up here. I've even got my habits. So I already meditated, so I checked that off. Once I hit 10K steps, I'll check that off. Once I finish filming, I'll check that off. And then you can really see a full picture. And again, what I like about it is you have your calendar, so you can time block and your tasks for the day. So then you can kind of see an overview. So you can see overdue tasks. You can see someday tasks, which I really like. When you have something you need to get done, maybe it's a big project, but it doesn't need to happen ASAP. So you just have it right here so you don't forget about it. It also tracks, again, all of your habits. You can add custom habits in here, which is so powerful. You can repeat it. You can select colors. You also can build with others and add people as well, which is really cool. They also do have a Pomodoro timer, which I actually don't use it on here. I use a different one, which is another Setapp app, which I'm using right now. This is called Session. So Session is using the Pomodoro technique where it's 25 minutes on, 5 minutes rest. So you can really be so intentional with the work that you're actually doing. So as you can see, I've got the category right here, which is C3 Media. And then within the category, I've got my intention. So I have like filming, scripting, whatever it may be, all right here. So then I can really be intentional. And as you can see, what else I did today was writing my email newsletter, prepping, posting, and now I'm filming and recording. So the beauty of this is again, you can set really intentional, focused time to actually see what you're getting done, because a lot of us as entrepreneurs, we can feel like we're actually moving the business forward when we're really just keeping ourselves busy. This is a big eye-opener for you to be like, okay, what am I actually working on? What am I doing? And is this moving the business forward? Then you can even look at analytics and see, like what your total focus was, your average focus, right? Like it's really powerful to see what you're actually focusing on. So you can be like, okay, I've been spending way too much time doing podcast editing. Maybe that's something I need to outsource. So it also just gives you so much good information as well. What I'm actually using right now, so I can't show you, is called CleanShot. It's essentially Loom, but better. So you can screen record. You can also add your face as a little bubble inside the actual screen recording as well. So you can record not only your screen, but also your face as well, which is exactly what Loom is. What you also can do in CleanShot is just take a screenshot and then you can write on there. You can make little outlines, you can edit it directly, and you can even put backgrounds on it too. It's really cool. So there's just so much you can do with it. The last app that I want to show you is called Workspaces. And this is something that seems really, really simple, but it's so powerful. So if you're someone who has a bunch of kind of different projects and tasks that you're working on and you just have a million tabs open, this is going to solve that problem for you. So what you do is you create new workspaces. So for example, everything that I need open to edit content is Final Cut Pro, Notion, in my content file. If I wanted to add something else, maybe a website, let's just say this was edit podcasts and I wanted to add Spotify for podcasters so I could immediately upload it right there, I could do that, right? You can add anything from a file, folder, website, email, application, terminal, URL, and so much more. Even for client check-ins, right? So I might need Trainerize, my check-in folder, Gmail, CleanShot, whatever it may be. So that way, instead of, okay, I'm doing client check-ins, I need to open 3 different apps or 4 different apps, whatever it may be, you just come in here and it opens everything up for you right here. So I've got my Trainerize, I've got my folder, I've got everything that automatically opens. It's so powerful. Again, if you want to check out any of these apps that I just showed you, the link to start the 7-day free trial is in the description below. So who actually saves more with each approach? If you're a minimalist and only ever use 1 or 2 apps, buying them individually might be cheaper. But for most entrepreneurs, the math points in one direction. If you're using 3 or more apps regularly, Setapp almost always wins. It bundles everything together and keeps your costs flat. It also saves you from all those subscriptions creeping up, because when you sign up for a $5 app here and a $10 app there, before you know it, you're actually spending hundreds of dollars every single year without realizing it. With Setapp, you know exactly what your monthly cost is, and it doesn't change no matter how many apps you download. If you're kind of in that dilemma of, do I pay for apps one by one, or do I pay for the bundle and get everything under one roof? Think about how you work. If you're constantly testing new tools, switching workflows, and looking for ways to optimize your business, Setapp makes a lot of sense because you can just try different apps without being punished financially. On the other hand, if you're someone who finds one tool and sticks with it for years without exploring alternatives, then maybe buying individually works better. But again, for most entrepreneurs, especially who are experimenting constantly because technology changes so quickly, Setapp is definitely going to be the way to go. As a side note, I know how stressful it can feel when you're running a business and every tool seems to come with another subscription fee. Sometimes it feels like you're paying for more apps than you are actually using. And that's why I wanted to break this down, because it shows how much you can really save by looking at the bigger picture. If you want to test out Setapp for yourself, don't forget to use our exclusive link in the description below to get the best price possible. You can get started with a 7-day free trial and then save 10% paying annually. I do want to mention that these are affiliate links, which means we may earn a small commission at no extra cost to you. So if you do choose to use our links, we just want to thank you so much for supporting our channel. It really helps us to continue to create free content and tutorials just like this. This channel is dedicated to helping entrepreneurs and small business owners find smarter ways to grow online. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel and leave any comments or questions below. We'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.